I got the time right here. I got the time right now. Uh-huh. That's right. Time is all I got right here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here in the internet world, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you tune in to get the real scoop. My name is Don Strong. I am here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I am interviewing Brother David from Brooklyn.
Time, she's my friend. Hello, everyone. This is Brother David from Brooklyn. I want to talk today about my ideas about people in high places. Quite often, we think about people of color who are in high places. I remember during the 1950s and 60s, there were not many people of color in high places. Today, there are many, many hundreds and maybe thousands of people of color in high places. However, those people of color are in these high places, but have things rarely change. You know, things can change and remain the same. Things can change and get better. Things can change and get worse. So in many cases, with all these new people of color, especially African Americans, things have changed, but remain the same. Remain the same. So that's what I want to talk about today. When people of color in this society that is basically based on the concept of capitalism economically and was made very viable by the concept of white supremacy racism, people of color didn't get much of a chance to have any kind of quote unquote leadership position. However, in the 50s, with the civil rights movement at that time, and what went on in the 1960s, there were changes. There were people who got executive positions, who got legislative positions in the Congress and various other positions in the country, up until a point when we even had an African-American president whose name was Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. But have things rarely changed that much? I don't think they have. I think the same people are in charge. We're living in a country where the economic system is capitalism and imperialism. The same people that ran it in the past are running it now, even though some of the oppressed people, like African Americans and others, are in positions on the legislative, executive, and judiciary level. So this is an example of change that comes about and things remain the same. Also, we have to think about some very important things. For example, there's a wealth gap and there's an income gap, let's say, between African Americans and European Americans. Has that improved that much because you have African Americans in leadership positions? I don't think so. I think that is probably deteriorated. So even though you have these people in leadership positions, things have not gotten that better for a lot of people who are very seriously oppressed throughout American history. So it's no different than when we had a situation with chattel slavery, and at the end of the Civil War, chattel slavery was put out, but the condition of those people who are kidnapped and enslaved in the country was not necessarily better. They could get along without lynching before the end of the Civil War, because many people they were property, and people wanted to protect their property, those in the leadership European community. But after the Civil War, a huge number of lynchings occurred because it was very possible to do that because chattel slavery had ended. So so-called freedom was here, but conditions in some respects got much worse. Also, as I think about it, people in high places, when they're in high places, why are they there? They're there many times to enrich themselves, and they still are answerable to those people in leadership positions. So as we think about it, those people in the Black Caucus and whatnot that we have in Washington, that they interfere with Barack Obama when he was attacking Libya or attacking various countries and whatnot? Did they go along with the imperialist policy of taking half the budget and putting on the so-called Defense Department, which is really the War Department? I think most of them went along with it. They went along with those who ruled. Anyone that didn't, like Cynthia McKinney, they got rid of her. So what happens is that many of these people who are in high places are going along with the status quo. And we cannot forget that. As we think about it, those who rule by propaganda. The only way you can maintain a system of capitalism that we have here is to divide people up. You have to divide and conquer. That's the only way you can do the things that you do that benefit only the small ruling class that is getting more of the wealth and more of the income as the rest of the people get poorer and poorer. And I'm talking about not only African Americans, but so-called European Americans also. So the point is, you must divide and rule. So we never can forget that. That's the secret here of those who rule. And that's the most important thing. You have to divide people up, and you have to be expert at propaganda to control people. Also, when you think about it, those who want to enrich themselves and exploit you have no interest in giving you justice. This is not about justice. Capitalism, imperialism in the United States is about making profit for those who are at the top and exploiting the labor and the resources of the people. So we have to understand that this is a situation that we have. And regardless of whether you have some brown and black faces up there or not, that is the name of the game. And when you think about it, how things have deteriorated after the civil rights fight during the 50s and 60s, what happened? What happened was that there was a backlash that drove people to the Republican Party and made the school to prison pipeline stronger and stronger. So the United States had the largest prison population that we've ever had, of mostly brown and black bodies. So think about it. People at the color of the top, at the top does not necessarily make things necessarily better just because of the color of their skin. And I think that is very important for us to understand. For those of you who are more interested in me, you can get a copy of my book, which is called Playing the Game. That's my memoir, and you'll find it very interesting, what can be accomplished if you learn to play the game and how you can help other people. And that's in this book here, Playing the Game. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you for listening.
This program is produced as a community service as a source of alternative information. Theme song by Don Strong and Danny Fromm, all rights reserved. Please note, the information presented and opinions expressed by Brother David do not necessarily reflect the opinions or imply endorsement by the producers of this program. Thank you for tuning in.